Dear shareholders, I have the honor and pleasure of chairing for the first time the shareholders meeting of your company. My task here is to assure that the assembly is held smoothly and correctly and to assure the exercise of the rights. This year, as you know, we have few items on agenda, but they are very important. We'll discuss and you will be voting the financial statements, the allocation of net profit and the remuneration policy. Before discussing these items, I would like to share some quick remarks with you. First of all, I'd like to tell you that for me, it is indeed a great privilege and honor to act as president of a company which is an integral part of the history of our country. The experience that I bring here in Eni, which I am making available of a company, is the experience of a businesswoman who has also had, over time, an institutional experience as chairman of the Italian Confederation of Industry. So a privilege and honor. Let's move on to governance. The governance of this company has changed profoundly in the past year since the election of the new board of directors in May 2014. The shareholders meeting has renewed almost fully the administration and supervisory bodies, and for the first time we have gender diversity in these bodies. The new board of directors has gained awareness very quickly of its role and has taken some decisions which mark a clear-cut discontinuity compared to the past, not only with regard to strategies but also with regard to governance. The board has seized, first of all, the value of supervision. So hierarchical dependence from the board has been strengthened with regard to the function of internal audit, giving me, the chairman, the task of handling this relationship. As chairman, I participate actively in all the internal audit process, from the preparation of a plan to the power of making specific audits, all the way to the approval of operational rules that discipline the activities of this function. Obviously, a functional dependence of this internal audit function on the control committee, control and risk committee, and the CEO has remained. So, consistently with this new setup, the role of the chairmanship has been defined as a role of guarantee, eliminating some duties that created some overlaps with management functions. I would like to stress once again that the board has increased its focus on corporate risks by intensifying periodical reports, which have become quarterly reports rather than reports issued every 6 months, thereby ensuring tighter monitoring on the state of risks. In this setting, reputational risks have been investigated in great detail too. The board has also ensured the utmost independence from the management structure of the judicial inquiry which concern the top management, such as the investigation concerning the acquisition of the OPL 245 block in Nigeria, assigning these cases to the Risk Control and Risk Committee the task of chairing the legal function. Now, in this specific case, it is the presidency that is chairing this task together with the committee. This procedure has been and is rigorously applied with specific reference to the inquiries regarding the acquisition of Block OPL 245 in Nigeria. In particular, with regard to this case, the Board of Auditors, together with the supervisory body, has initiated an independent U.S. legal firm to investigate the conduct of the company, and these inquiries have been completed and have not highlighted any offences or unlawful acts. This outcome, this result of this investigation has been made available, and it has also decided, the board of directors has asked to be assisted by an American legal firm to make sure that the activities and the defensive strategy of the corporation are as independent as possible. Now, consistently with this line, the board has given the secretary of the board of directors the function of corporate governance council, a figure that depends on the council, and through it from the president, which provides consultancy and assistance independently of the board, and obviously reports on the functioning of corporate governance. And it has changed the board has changed the setup and making it more transparent and adequate to be, and it has also tried to improve the compliance organization and the internal regulatory system set up, acknowledging obviously the excellence of the system. But we have, however, paid a great deal of attention in strengthening transparency and traceability of the flow of internal communications and strengthening internal laws regarding anti-corruption. Based on the recent judicial cases that have concerned the company. To this regard, I can say with satisfaction that our rules to this regard are a reference point on the international scene. The effort for the ongoing improvement towards excellence has always been a commitment of our corporation, a commitment which the new board considers a priority, and obviously shareholders need to be aware and proud of this. The new board has decided on the proposal of the CEO to pay even more attention to the issues of sustainability and therefore to the interests of all the company's stakeholders. And so, as a result, we have set up a specific board committee which has the task of supporting the board in the most significant decisions regarding sustainability scenarios. The board has also accepted to take part in the lead board program of the United Nations, which has the specific goal of raising knowledge and awareness of board members regarding sustainability. This project fits into the broader framework of the in-depth induction program addressed to new bodies that has allowed directors and auditors to gain a greater understanding of the complexity of the E&I business, get to know and appreciate management, therefore be able to quickly take decisions, important strategic decisions. And after a first year of intense activity, we have initiated a self-assessment process with the help of an external consultant to assure the objectivity of this objectiveness of this process, as is in the tradition of E&I, as evidenced in the report on corporate governance. There has a strong commitment and motivation amongst all the board members, an appropriate mix of skills and experience. There's also the possibility for board members to freely express their views and to bring their contribution in an open and constructive debate. The ability of the board to effectively influence decision-making and the broadness and exhaustiveness of the information provided by the CEO, the in-depth handling and discussion of themes such as control systems, internal control systems and risk management systems, sustainability, corporate governance, and extraordinary operations. The Council has also thought and discussed the other areas of improvement and has conducted the self-assessment process in further detail, therefore leading to peer review in line with best practices. Confirming in this regard that there's growing focus on improvement, I'd like to move on to my conclusions to say that you are the shareholders of a sound corporation inspired by ethical values, headed by a board which is conscious and pays attention to its role, but also of its responsibilities, and a CEO who has obviously undoubted technical skills, who is dedicated to the management of the company and who discusses openly regarding the his counsels, his advice regarding strategic decisions. And this obviously creates a relationship of great trust between board and management, and obviously this is great important. I'd like to conclude by thanking first and foremost you, the shareholders, for the trust you have given to the board and your proximity to the company, which you've proven today since you are here today. I would also like to thank the board directors for their professionalism and commitment, and the auditors headed by President Caratozzo for the important contribution to the efficacy of control systems. But I'd like to thank first and foremost the men and women of E&I throughout the world, because it's them who, through their daily work in obviously in sometimes difficult environmental conditions, their extreme technical competence and attachment to the values of the company, have allowed the company to reach the excellence in it and abroad. And of course, we want to continue to be excellent in it and abroad. I'd like to thank you. And at this point,